good morning, everybody. I'm Elisabetta Iossa, the coordinator of the Master of Science in European Economy and Business Law. And together with my colleagues, Professor Rocco Ciciretti and Alberto Iozzi, we are going to present the our program. So I will start. I will give a brief presentation, and then there will be room for questions. Okay, so first of all, let me tell you that the Department of Economics and Finance at the University of Rome Tor Vergata is a department that is committed to excellence in research and in teaching, and in 2018 was awarded a recognition from the Ministry of Education and Research for its high quality research in economics. It's a department where typically a master's level classes are small. There is a group of academics who work on applied issues and aim at reaching a high teaching standard. We work in an environment we could define international, with a large set of programs taught in Italian and or in English. And we have an office that is also devoted to career placement and orientation for students and graduates. The Master of Science in European Economy and Business Law, EBL from now onwards, is a 2-year program in European Studies, so LM90, and it combines economics with political science, management, law, and statistics. So the core is economics, but we also have courses in these other disciplines. The program is taught entirely in English. Selected students will be eligible to take advantage of a dual degree program with SOAS University of London, which I will describe later. So why EBL? So as I said, first of all, the department has a renowned reputation in research in economics. Second, we have the course is characterized by its by a lot of international exchange. We have students coming from many countries. 1 year we reached 22 countries, and we offer great career opportunities. I'll come back to this in a minute. The board is comprised by myself, I'm this lady here, and then we have Barbara Nicchiarico, Berardino Cesi, Martina Conticelli, and Tommaso Proietti, who are professors you will meet if you decide to come during the program. So let me tell you what the program structure is. So the first year is quite demanding, and we have courses that are not typically taught in other European studies program. The reason being we want to be grounded anyway in economics and quantitative methods somehow, even if we are not a fully quantitative program. So we start with game theory, industrial organization, continue with statistical learning, where students start learning how to analyze data, and they also learn statistical program like R. Then we have course advanced management. As I said, EBL combines economics with management and with law, and you can see later that we have a course in European institution law and markets during the first year, and in the second year there is another law course, which is EU administrative law. We also have economic history, which is now European economic history, and a number of courses in the second year that dig further into these disciplines. In particular, we look at issues related to the economics of European integration, the economics of structural reforms, And then we have courses that look at the public sector or political economy, on top of a number of extra activities that I will describe later on. Students have the possibility to take 2 additional elective courses. There is really a large supply. Basically, students have the possibility to take more or less any course taught in English and master level in the Faculty of Economics, and sometimes we also agree for students to take courses from other faculties, precisely because EBL wants to be a course grounded in economics, but with an interdisciplinary flavor. Our most requested elective courses are econometrics for applied economics, where they study statistics and data analysis further, economics and territorial organization and planning, international commercial law, environmental economics, health economics, development economics, European competition law and regulation, and governance and ethics. But as I said, there are many more than these courses available. Every year we gather students' feedback, not just through the university system, which is something that is typically done at the end of the year, but just immediately after the course is taught, to get to have the possibility to react immediately if we see that there are problems. And here, for example, we reported the averages of the students' evaluation on our courses taught so far on a point scale from 1 to 5. 5 is the top and 1 is the bottom. So we are reporting here something that we've seen across the years. That is that on average, our courses receive an appreciation that is above 4. There are, as you can see here, scope for improvements, and we keep working on this. But overall, the EBL average is widely above 4. So, and this is good. It reflects the commitment that we have towards the high teaching standards. It was quite surprising in a sense for us because, this year we taught courses online, and we thought that this could be quite hard for students, but we had no option. But overall, this data reflects the fact that despite this change in methodology, students' feedback were positive. Now, because we take students from different backgrounds, not just economics. We have students with background in literature, languages, or engineering, or law. And this must be really good students and well motivated to be admitted. Well, we offer some preparatory courses at the beginning of the year in September on mathematics, microeconomics, macroeconomics, and statistics. And every year we follow the students who don't have a background in economics to make sure that they are catching up. And the data that we keep analyzing suggests that those students with strong motivation and a good bachelor manage to do it even if when they arrive, they have no background in economics. The majority of the students come from economics nevertheless, so some of them will take these courses to refresh their mind, others will just start with the core courses. We often, this is in a sense something that characterizes us a lot, we offer extra activities. So there is 6 credits which students have to gain by choosing which extra activity they want to undertake. And this could be an internship. So students may choose to complete a 3 or 6 months internship. We have contacts with institutions, firms, and international sector allowing students to reach institutions and firms that they could not reach otherwise. But we also have an intern office at university level, which helps us to find internship for students. We also have students who manage to find their internships themselves. Students who don't find a good internship or don't want to do that still have other options. So we offer these soft skills seminars because after meeting with the private and the public sector, we've learned that more and more soft skills are important. So we thought of offering this. We also realize that students sometimes lack some basic or more advanced use knowledge of Excel or other ICT programs. So we also offer this. And recently this year, we introduced a possibility for students to gain the 6 credits by attending a course in Math Lab and passing. So these are mathematical programs. The internships I mentioned already is something we work on a lot. Jenny, this lady here in the picture, is our point of contact with institutions and firms. This is a list of places where our students have been, and useless to tell you that some of them have then remained within that institution after the internship. Overall, we ensure that we try to select good institutions for students to have a good experience, a learning experience. There are also internships like the following one at international organization, European Agency for Railway, European Investment Bank, World Food Programme, International Fund for Agriculture and Development in Rome, and others. There are also a number of internships at private companies. You can see here a long list of this. And the feedback we get are typically really positive. There are also international opportunities. As I said, we are really keen for this program to be international as much as we can. So we encourage students not just to do Erasmus, which is obviously something that should always be encouraged, but also to take other opportunities like a thesis abroad. Venice International University, which is a program offered in Venice and that can complement some of our studies, Erasmus Trainship and Erasmus Plus on top of overseas. Further details can be found on our website. On top of this, we realized that when sometimes we are approached by institutions asking us if we have some candidate for a position they have vacant, and we circulate this call within our students, that sometimes students lack some basic skills to propose themselves in the workplace. So we have therefore developed a number of workshops to help students, and these include the CV writing workshop, cover letter writing, application assistance. We also have generically individual assistance on scholarship placement and document preparation. There is a dual degree title program with School of Oriental and African Studies at University of London. This basically gives students a possibility to do the second year at SOAS, learning 2 degrees. So the Master of Science degree in EBL and the Master at SOAS. There is a portfolio of masters which students can choose from. This is an opportunity that's not open to everybody, just to 2 students per year, and they must have satisfied certain criteria. These are further information is on our website. Here you can find the masters that they could gain by doing the second year at SOAS. So Master in Economics, Global Economic Governance and Policy, Development Economics, and so on. These are some pictures from the past when we could really meet in person, and they want to convey the fact that because we are typically a small group, we are about 40 students. We have about 40 students. We're happy to notice that there is always a good bonding among themselves and a nice collective spirit. The Ebl Student Profile is someone who has knowledge of English, of course, and keen on international mobility and applied work, and who is interested in economics but wants to have a wider perspective on things. So you're also interested in studying, for example, 2 courses in law or in management. And the optional courses that we have, in a sense, are such that they want to give students the possibility to deepen their knowledge in economics, if that's what they want, in management, if that's what they want, in law, if that is what they want. The admission process, I will skip this because it's difficult. It's different than the other master program. You should email admissions@ebluniroma2.it for questions, so go on our websites. The deadline for application is listed also on the website, so you have time, but I would say, it's good if you start making inquiry. Similarly, on tuition fees, all the details will be given online, and it depends generically on your certified income. So let me go on data again. This was updated just last week. So in 2021-22, so currently now, we are obviously seeing a drop in applications, but this is a reflection of the fact, as we suppose, maybe COVID and also related to the fact that tuition fees have gone up a bit. But we are quite confident that we will reach the same number of students as last year. We don't want more than that. That is about 40. So the current students are students who come from this cohort. There were up 7 applicants, 26 of which of whom were admitted and are here. We have more than 26, Federica, so I'm not sure why we have only 26 at the moment, because the group is 40, so there may be something with the data here that's not super clear. Nationality 2021, so we receive a high number of applications from a number of countries. We have about 30% of students coming from outside Italy, and this is great. This is the academic background. As you can see, we have a large proportion of students coming from economics, 22%, but also a large number of students coming from political science and humanities and management. The average GPA by bachelor degree is some kind of data that we thought of gathering, because we wanted to make sure that this policy of admitting students not just in economics but also in other disciplines with the purpose of kind of retraining in economics was working, and it is working, because you could see here that actually the average GPA by bachelor degree is not the highest in economics, and is spread generically quite evenly. The number in law is this number should not take it too seriously, because it's reflected to the fact that when we got these numbers, we had only few students with a background in law. But the average mark per course is also showing that our students are doing on average very good. You can see, for example, in game theory and IO, which is perceived to be as one of the most difficult courses, still we have average marks of around 26. And a percentage close to 60% of students have taken it by now. So here you can see that not all students have completed all the credits. So there are some students who are a little bit late, but we're working on this. And in any case, numbers are getting better and better every year. So 32% of students have achieved all the credits required in the first semester, 11% have achieved only half of the credits, and here are the other percentages. what do we have here? So here is again a comparison across years where you can see that we are improving year by year. So our students are getting hopefully more motivated or finding it easier to sort of complete their studies. And second year students are also getting better. You can see here a comparison between this year and last year, and you can see that the histogram is going up more or less all the time, not always, but most cases, showing that the intake of students that we take are students who are more and more motivated and maybe with stronger backgrounds, and they're doing better and better. The average credit for these other students, for the second year students, remains quite high, around 26.8. We are now collecting information about graduates, but we have seen that there are students with, working in all sorts of institutions, and the placement in general is actually very good. So compared, this is in Italian, it should not be in Italian, it should be in English, but compared with the Ateneo, that means the university, we are above average in terms of placement. And this is the same, again, decisamente sì, for those who are not Italian, means definitely yes. It shows that on average, our students are satisfied or more than satisfied with the program, and these the satisfaction is on average greater than in the rest of the universities. These are some of the companies where students are working or we've collaborated. We have a number of initiatives. I'll go fast because I have just a few minutes remaining. So as my colleagues will also tell you, happens in their courses. In Tutor Vergata here, we really try to motivate students also by recognizing when they're doing well. One of the ways we do this is through these performance prizes. So they're based just on GPAs and number of credits. And it's a scholarship for students to undertake a project that they propose, which could be like a summer school abroad or an additional course in another university, or maybe some sort of other learning activity that they want to undertake. Or we even sponsored an internship at the European Commission for a student who will not have received pay during the internship, and we sort of supported that. There are also a number of awards that we give during the year, in terms of prizes to best students in first year, best students of the second year. And we try to keep in touch with our past students. So we have this LinkedIn group. Please, if you want to join it and get in touch with our past students, because that's always the best way to really, learn about the program, what students say. We have an alumni event where we get students from the past who have by now found the interesting placement, and we ask them to talk to our current students to inspire them to create a network. These are images from some of these events. The last one was on the 18th of May, and there is one which will take place here very soon. We have Davide Bellucci, who is an economic consultant in Rome. Silvia Vannutelli is a PhD student. She was at Boston University, but she's now got a job at Northwestern. And Oliviero Papa, who is working at the United Nations. Career skills seminars, interview process are the extra activities we propose. And if you remember, we do this through the sort of fees that we collect from students, and we invest them in all these extra activities to which there is not a mark associated. These are just initiatives that we promote to help students build their career. These are some of the extra activities that are forthcoming, soft skills seminars. We also have events where we invite professionals to talk to our students and maybe this, send their CVs if there are vacant positions. Finally, students meet me and my colleagues regularly. We talk freely about what's going on, or what they suggest, where is scope for improvement. And you may request, if you like, a students magazine that we have created where we tell our stories from teaching to initiatives to students' life. There are a number of frequently asked questions. As I said, the class size is about 40 students. And other facts that you can find by going on our webpage, or if you need to get information on admissions, by emailing Federica Corrente at admissions@ebluniroma.it. Now, I thought I would speak for less than half an hour, but instead I just spent the whole time devoted to this presentation. So I suggest that for any questions, you please contact us at the address reported in the slides, and we will reply with any questions you may ask. Thank you.
Thank you.
I leave now the floor to Alberto Iozzi, talking about the Master of Science in Economics. Hi, Alberto.
Thank you, Elisabetta. Good afternoon to everybody. Let me introduce myself first. My name is Alberto Iozzi. I am Professor of Economics here in Vergata. I am the coordinator of the Master of Science in Economics. Let me share slides. Can you see my screen? Can you see my slides?
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so let me start by summarizing in a way my presentation. First of all, I will introduce our degree, which is a 2-year master degree in economics. For those who like Italian bureaucracies, the class is LM56. And is a course which is entirely taught and examined, where everyone speaks only English, and this is important in terms also of possible occupational ends for our students. We have I'll present briefly something about the types of students that we have. We have a class which is international. Roughly, we will see that 30% of our students come from 30, or sometimes in some classes even more, come from an international background. Another thing that I will talk about a bit is the kind of support that we provide to our students. Here I summarized this support by simply mentioning the idea that we have a personal tutor assigned to each student, which is not the academic supervisor that will follow our student through the thesis writing. This is a completely different thing. It's one of the colleagues who teach in the course. We are basically assigned a student, and whose duty is basically to be a contact point for the students for all possible questions, comments, doubts, or guidance. Next, what I will talk about will be the placement of our students, which is of course in somehow connected to the career development that we foresee for our students. And we will see that we are actually quite in line with what our objectives are. So let's start with the program. So let me illustrate what our course is about. Our course is a pretty standard course in economics. I hear some funny noises. I don't know what's going on. Okay, so the content, I mean, the entire content of the course are pretty much formalized. There is a strong quantitative content, both in terms of mathematics and statistics. And this is the way in which economists think about the reality. And so this is the way that we believe it's useful that a professional economist should be trained in. So we start with the two courses which lie basically at the background for all our courses. So that is with mathematics and statistics, and then from that you will recognize immediately from now, but also later on in the course, in my description of the course, there are basically two big tracks, two big strands of courses, which are on the one hand quantitative methods, that is statistics and econometrics, and on the other hand economic theory and economic applied theory. So we have econometrics and time series on the one hand, and we start teaching micro and macro economics. If you are here, I imagine that you know exactly what I'm talking about. So basically, the kind of knowledge that you that you obtained in your undergraduate degree is taken to a further level, so that you'll be able to analyze much more complex problems, and problems which are much more connected to the reality. So in a sense, for those of you who took microeconomics and looked and remember looking at the at the graph with the budget constraint and a family of indifference curves with only two goods in a static world with everything known, basically what we do, that problem was probably too simple to be able to illustrate the reality. So we take our tools to a much more developed level, so that we are able to capture the reality in a better way. So in these first slides, you also see that we immediately from the first year of studies, we start also giving our students some competencies regarding software and regarding the use of computers, that it is useful in our profession. So with this respect, we start teaching immediately from the first year the use of MATLAB, which is basically a math program, Python, which is a software which allows you to do many things, from a simple spreadsheet feature to much more complicated data extraction from web and from everything. And then R is Stata, which are the two most widely used econometric and statistical software. Then we move. We move to the second year of study. The second year of study, we start looking at more specialized topics. In particular, we offer courses in public economics, labor economics, law and economics, which by the way is taught by Elisabetta Iossa, who you just met, plus some elective courses. On the right-hand side, that I will describe in a second. On the right-hand side of the picture, you will find on the slide, sorry, you will find a few pictures of where actually these second year of studies may be carried out. This is because, as I will illustrate later, we have a program in which you have many possibilities to many international connections, many possibilities for you to go abroad and study in other universities, either in person or in online settings. So in this sense, you can take these second year courses either in Tor Vergata University, which is the bottom right picture, but also in within an Erasmus exchange, or as I will describe later on, by going to study and enrolling in other universities like Gothenburg and Constance. I discussed the idea of elective courses, so our student can choose, can customize in a sense the course to their preferences by choosing the different elective courses that we offer. Again, all these courses again are very much are basically specialties in, again, the use of the economist tools to look at more specific problems, not only widely general problem like micro and micro. So we look at the problem of how to design health markets. We look at in the industrial organization course, we look at how markets function and what kind of strategies firms may undertake to become more or less competitive, and what kind of these strategies harm the competitors, and how the government can intervene. In the macroeconometrics courses, for instance, we look by using econometric tools at the behavior of macroeconomic variables like GDP, interest rate, and so on, so forth. I said that we try to offer our students a lot of opportunity, also of international opportunities. So let's focus on the first two boxes on the left of the first line. We offer dual degrees, very much like what you saw in the case of the other course presented by Elisabetta Jossa and the connection with SOAS of London. In London, we offer dual degree with the University of Gothenburg and the University of Constance. I'll describe this in a second. We also have other international mobility programs. We offer the possibility for our students to go abroad and follow a limited number of courses while still being enrolled in our universities. This applies both in the European and in the non-European context. We also offer the possibility of going abroad to write simply the thesis, and we also offer a connection to many other universities by online courses, something that I will describe again in a second. But these are the big picture in a sense. We also offer smaller things. We offer the possibility of obtain a MATLAB certification, which is very well received in many jobs that our students are interested in. We offer courses like not only for econometric packages, but for writing packages like LaTeX. Our students are supported in their future the developments of the future career by a placement office that follows them through the different steps which are required to pursue your career after you have completed our course of studies. And this is something that you should typically do while you are still studying and not after you complete your study. We also have our alumni meetings. We haven't organized actually our meeting this year yet, but this is what we're going to do. It's always a very nice experience for current students to learn from the experience that previous students had, both in the university and in their career, and also how the two things to learn from the from the words of someone who with our background, with our degree, to learn from directly from them how to make the connection between our activities and their career. I was mentioning about the dual degree program. We have these agreements with two very good universities in Europe, in particular with the University of Gothenburg in Sweden and the University of Constance in Germany. By means of these two agreements with these two universities, we are able to send 2 students to each year to Gothenburg and 2 students to Constance to spend their second year in these universities without paying, of course, any fees. And at the end of the study, these students will actually receive 2 degrees, one from the University of Vergata and the other one from the University of Constance or the University of Gothenburg. So it's a is a sort of quantity discount that we offer to students. And I was mentioning about the other possibilities that we are offering to our students to link to other universities. This is something which is pretty new. It's basically the first year that this program is in place and that we are already experimenting, but we are very excited about this because we believe it's a major improvement in our program. What is it about? I mean, there is this new network which has just been formed of young universities in Europe. There are you know that Tor Vergata has been founded, is a pretty young university, which has to be because it has been founded, let me think, in the 90s. Yes, it was in the 90s, and it has made very giant steps so far, so to gain the academic reputation that it has now, especially in economics. And there are a group of other universities in Europe which have followed basically the same path. Young universities which have been founded not many years ago, but which are now, nevertheless, are now pretty prestigious. It's Maastricht University in the Netherlands. I mentioned only a few of them: Carlos III in Spain, Essex in the UK, and other universities in Croatia, Germany, Belgium, and so on and so forth. Basically, these universities decided to team up and so to put their lots of their resources together, so that a student of one of these universities can go and follow a course offered by other universities, by another university in the network. This basically enlarges dramatically the number of courses which are available to each students, and makes immediately the courses of which is offered by each of these universities much more competitive in the international market. This program has been launched recently during basically the COVID pandemic. So far, we've only observed, we are only envisaging students who go, who stay at home in their university, but basically follow the courses online offered by other universities. But as I said, the program is evolving, and we are imagining that in the future it will be possible a much more developed interaction with the university, with some mobility among students. Okay, this is another slide which I found particularly important for students. It is related to what you are going to do after after graduating in economics at Vergata. First, let me focus on numbers, the one that you find on the top right corner of our slides. We are very proud of the performance of our graduates because we observed that a very, very large percentage of them is employed within 6 months from obtaining the degree. And when I mean employed, I mean that they have an activity which is closely related to their course of studies. When I mean an activity, I mean that they are either working or they are enrolled in a research activity, being probably research assistant or being enrolled in a PhD. And if we now focus our attention to bottom right part of the screen, you see an example of where our students are working now. And as you see, there are basically 3 big groups. The first big group is the academia. Some of our students end up carry on studying, and they proceed to a PhD, or they continue studying by what is pretty common in these days, that you start working as a research assistant first, and after 1 or 2 years of this intermediate position, you start your PhD program. As you see, we are able to place our students even in very good universities. As you see in the second line, we have been able to place one of our students in the past at the University of Chicago, which is one of the best universities in the US. We've been able also to place students at Northwestern, which is again one of the probably best 10, 15 universities in the US for economics, but also in the University of Zurich. Very good universities in Europe. So we also have a lot of other students being able to enroll, to be accepted in other very good but not as excellent PhD program as the one that I was mentioning. So students being enrolled in, I don't know, in Innsbruck, another which was enrolled at Boston University. So very good university, but not, these are really the top. So this is something that we are really, really, really proud of. A second group of institutions where our students have found a job is basically public institution. JCR is the research center of the European Commission. Banca d'Italia is clearly Banca d'Italia, is the Bank of Italy, is the National Bank for Italy. MEF is the Italian Ministry for Economics, but also international, not only Italian public institution, but also the World Food Program and the FAO, European Central Bank. What do they do here? They contribute to the activities of these institutions by bringing their expertise as a professional economist, working on the different program that they are working there. There is also finally a last group which is somehow smaller but we are really trying to enlarge this group is for people, I mean our students and actually graduates who went to study, went to work for private institutions. We have here only the example of ALD Automotive, which is a private company which basically trades in car. And and this is something that again it is very important for us, because we really believe that a professional economist should be able also to directly contribute to the economic activity, working in private firms, be them firms that produce services, like in the case of ALT, but also firms that produce, for instance, consultancy services. We haven't been able to place students so far in some major consultancy, but this is something that we really look forward to. Because, and now we move to the left side of the picture. I mean, our students, this is really what our students do. Our graduates are professional economists. They know how to use the tool that economic theory and econometrics and statistical analysis has made available to the profession to analyze problems. So if you become an economic researcher, basically you will study really whatever you want, doing your PhD or doing your research, and you'll be able to do so, to study whatever you want. Actually, probably some people believe that economists are now studying too many things and not concentrating on the economists only, but you are able also to to analyze data, to steal some of the jobs that my colleague Carlo Ciciretti will discuss with you, being a financial risk analysis financial planner, by the way, and also in the public sector. This is very important that we contribute to what a trend which is fortunately enough now seems to be present also in our country, that economic policies are supported by sound economic analysis. One thing about support. We are supporting our students, as I said, in many ways with the organization of the course, but mostly, and I mean last and not least, or with money. Money is an issue. We are economists, and then money is important. So we provide a lot of different scholarship to our students. The fees that you pay, like in the case that what illustrated by Elisabetta, depend on your family income, but nevertheless we provide scholarships of different kinds for students who perform well. We provide good scholarship for best admitted students. We provide scholarship who perform very well in the first year to our best performer in the first year. But also we provide some different forms of support during the program. So if you want to you will provide reimbursement of expenses for some activities which are very important in our career, like a math lab or getting the GRE, which is basically a measure of your understanding of some matters that it is often requested. A test which is often requested for the admission of PhD programs. Let me finish with applications. When is the right time to apply? Basically, now applications are open. The sooner you apply, the sooner your application will be reviewed and hopefully accepted. How should you apply? Application, unfortunately, is not very straightforward, especially for foreigners, but we have our wonderful program office that I will describe in a second that is very good at assisting you. The deadline for the application is June for non-EU applicants and end of August for Italian and EU applicants. The reasons why we have this different deadline is because of the different formal requirement for non-EU applicant in terms of visa and everything. Even if the deadline for Italians is, as I said, for EU students ends on the 25th, but we start our program very early because our program is very dense. You are going to learn a lot of things. And so our program this year, we start on the 31st of August. Okay, so get ready for a very short summer if you want to enroll in our program. But I can guarantee that you will be happy for giving up part of your summer holidays. Last thing, probably the most important thing, our program office. We have a very good program office. This is one of the many contact points that students have during their program. As an applicant, you will deal with some of them, but this same program office will be a crucial part it is a crucial part of the success, in a sense, of our program, because throughout the course, they will provide you with very good assistance for your study. Very last information I want to offer you is 2:29, so I've got only 1 minute to do this. Last slide, on the bottom of this slide, you will find the website. Our website, like the websites of EBL and Master of Banking and Finance, are extremely good, extremely well designed. They provide a lot of information. They provide a lot of useful and updated information. So my advice, if you want to apply, but also if you simply want to have a flavor of what the course look like and what is the atmosphere inside the course, or what the teachers are, or what the syllabus of the different courses are, and so on and so forth, please spend some time visiting and browsing through our website. I'm done. Thank you for your attention. I also imagine that I wouldn't have used my entire 30 minutes, but it's instead what I did. So I am giving now the floor to Rocco Ciciretti, and Rocco, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Alberto. So good afternoon to everyone. And as my colleague just said, I will present the last program for today, that is the program in finance and banking. And so our program is okay. So our finance and banking program mission is, as you can see from this picture, is bridging the gap. So our main focus is to let you be ready after 2 years for the job market. And we really want you to find your dream job as soon as you have the possibility. So our program is, as my colleague already said, is an English program, is a 2 years program in the Department of Economics and Finance. We are very focused on mathematical and statistical technique applied to financial markets. So we really want to, we really look for motivated students that have an international setting, and they are ready to look for their job, their dream job, anywhere that is possible to work with finance. So how we bridge our gap? because we believe that there is a difference sometimes between what you get from the university and what the job market is requiring you. So to do that, we have several steps during our 2 years program that help our student to really be on track and be ready for what the company look for when they are ready to enter the job market. So first of all, we have 4 annual meeting called Meet the Practitioner, in which our student met practitioner from different institutions. This is some of them. For example, BlackRock came to Tor Vergata to give a speech to our student. And if you don't know, BlackRock is the biggest asset manager in the world. They manage $7 trillion as asset under management. We had BNP Paribas, we had Montepaschi, Reply, as well as a venture company like Venture Factor. So during this meeting, people tell to our student how they fill the gap 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 5 years ago, when they exit their university and they enter for the first time the job market. We really want to help you in not having any problem when you look at the edge of this gap and you are able to jump. So we want to be ready to jump on the other side. And so these 4 meetings, if you multiply by 2 years, is 8 times you talk with people that maybe in the future are the guy that will interview for your final step in their company. So this help our student to really figure out what the company are looking for and why they study such a different topics to be ready for the job market. Then, again, another step that we use to help our student to bridge the gap is a challenge with the Enel company, that is a utility company in Italy operating worldwide. And this, with respect to our Meet the Practitioner seminar, is a group work in which student works together with the Enel trading team on different topics. So for example, in 2018 was weather derivatives, and then there was power market, and then LNG market. This year they are still not releasing the topic. And so in this challenge, student as a teamwork prepare their business strategy to a case defined by Enel. In this way, the top team go and present their project in the trading room here in Rome, and then they have a fast track for the Enel career. So this is a very interesting way, different from the seminar, in which students, they have to work, implement their idea, apply to a real case that Enel is working on. And then these are, again, 2 events in the first year and in the second year. Finally, at the end of the academic year, after the 4 seminars, 1 challenge, we have our dedicated conference organized by our master program for our student on quantitative finance. So we invite international academics and international practitioners to talk about quantitative method in finance, banking, and insurance to our student. And we also offer this conference to other practitioners to attend. And in one day, we have 3 events: the conference, the career day dedicated only to our finance and banking student, as well as we organize a meeting with our alumni. So our current students are able to interact with all other students that previously attended our program and maybe exchange idea, opinion, leave their CV, whatever it takes to bridging the gap. So at the end of 1 year, you had 6 events that is already creating you the flavor of what will be your next steps in the job market. So in the second year, we repeat the same 6 events. And so you are trained over 2 years to be ready for a job interview, not only theoretically, just helping you to write a CV, a cover letter. We do also that, but we want really you to interact directly to practitioner, talk and say, look, excuse me, what your company is looking for when a finance guy apply for the first time, for example, to BlackRock as well as to BNP or any other company that we invite here in Tor Vergata. And I really invite you to visit our website and see really these events and how many people came as speaker as well as attending the conference. So our quantitative conference had the last time 250 people attending the floor. So it means that in this way you can figure out and talk with a lot of people and exchange idea on something that you have in common, that is talking about finance. So these are our industrial partners. These are not our sponsor or company that took our student. We have more than that. These are partners that we relate to organize something, that is the conference, the meeting, the challenge, speech, interview. And so these are some of them. And as you can see, we have Credit Suisse as well as Refinitiv, VGO, Candriam is a New York-based company, BlackRock, and all other companies. Okay, so just to show you that the job market you will face in the future after 2 years is very heterogeneous, and we ask our partner to come into Vergata and tell us the peculiarity of each kind of job maybe you will look for in the future. So then what are the results of our bridging the gap? Of course, as I told you, we help you to write a professional CV, and we organize a specific seminar on how to kill it and at your interview, as well as if you see, in the last 12 months, we had directly to finance and banking office 28 job offers in 12 months. So it means that the pandemic didn't stop company to look for skilled student. And since December 2018, so it means in the last 3 years, we had 75 job offers directly to our finance and banking student. And then we have opportunity at Italian Security Exchange Commission, that is CONSOB, as well as the Enel, as I told you, through the challenge. So these activities help students, in addition to our seminar, conference, and challenge, to reach this result. So after 12 months, 97.77% of our students are employed. After 1 month, 63%. It means that in 1 year, you are done. And what are the main professional figures we prepare to is a quant analyst, as well as financial analyst, asset manager, risk manager, and insurance specialist. And if you look at the slide, this data is updated on April 1st. This means that we really check almost daily how many of our students change job, find for the first time their job, and we really follow our student over time. We really care also when you are alumni, because sometimes some job offers are related to our alumni student. So we really take care of our student even when you are done 1 year, 2 years, 5 years from your graduation. We always send a mail to our alumni because maybe you really want to change job after 5 years and you are stuck in that position, and maybe one of our job offers help you to get your dream job. Okay, so sometimes there is let's say a difference in time between your expectation and when the job market will really price your value, your professional activity. So now let me go through the program structure. It is a more formal, let's say, presentation from now on, because I want to show what happened in our first and second year. So we start also at the end of August with our pre-courses and courses in mathematics and statistics. Then we have derivatives, and we really have an activity that is really important for any people who want to work in finance, that is coding. So we really want to get you the flavor of what are the data you manage and how to measure the data, because when you will find any of the job of the previous job here listed, you have to deal with data. And dealing with data, it doesn't mean only managing the data, but is also interpreting the results. So our course, Coding and Data Analysis for Finance, is a specific class in which you get able to manage data as well as look at the result in financial sense, in a sense that you are able to figure out what does it mean, what is the magnitude of the analysis you are doing. So in the second semester, you have time series and econometrics, corporate finance, financial market, and financial econometrics. And then you start taking your electives, and I will go later on this. Then you see that the second year, first semester, you have again asset pricing, legal theory, asset manager, and empirical banking. And then the last semester is free to go, in a sense that you can work on your project while you do an internship. You want to do thesis abroad, Erasmus program, whatever is in your preferences. So what are the electives? So related to the program structure, is very important to us, and we suggest informally 3 study paths. One is on insurance, one is on finance, and one is in banking. All these electives, you can manage 3 of them and create your own CV for the job you want to look for in the future. So these are the main elective we offer. And for example, the advanced topic in finance and insurance is the only, I believe, flip class we have in Vergata, in which students by themselves and in team teach to other students under the supervisor of professor. Then we have big data for economics and finance, credit risk model, as well as fixed income and life insurance. All these electives we select and we propose you are focusing on what the market is looking for. So anyone that wants to enter in finance as a professional, beside this program structure, you want to know life insurance as well as fixed income, and you really want to go deep in managing data as well as understanding advanced topic in these areas, okay? So it's very important that our electives characterize your CV according to which professional figure you look for. And we help in this because, of course, you can talk with me, you can talk with any professor to choose your 3 electives that will characterize your CV. So we offer, related to our program structure, we offer ARPM certification. And in addition to that, you have the possibility to attend the bootcamp in New York City, as well as the marathon or the laboratory. We offer you Refinitiv certification, data stream and icon, as well as the database. We offer you VGO Iris database, as well as Morningstar Direct and Morningstar EDW, in which you can find data related to investment funds, corporation, or socially responsible investment, or any macro data you look for your analysis. So all the data and the certification complete our program structure to create a solid CV for you when you apply in the job market. So specifically, we offer you the possibility to attend the bootcamp in New York City, and we pay for that, your flight, your hotel, and the bootcamp, as well as you attend the marathon or the lab. All these activities with ARPM are very based on a practice that help you to figure out what the financial industry is looking for when we talk about asset manager, banking, insurance. So we really care that what you take from our classes in the program structure is then reflected in your skills when you will enter the company that hired you from the very first day. And so regarding that, we also offer student price as well as graduate price, and very important, we gave you back the money if you successfully get the MATLAB certification. So we push you to study MATLAB and we pay you back the achievement of the certification. So all these activities that I'm referring to are part of the program structure to build your CV that is very competitive, not only related to your classmates. What we want is that your CV is competitive worldwide. So your competitor is any student in China or in US or in South America that apply for the same position in the company you really want to land over. So, and because of that, because of you're not looking at your, your classmates, we really push you for double degree, applying for double degree with University of Gothenburg, Erasmus Plus program, as well as UFE program or thesis abroad. We really believe that if you want to be competitive in finance, you should know that your dream job can be anywhere in the world. And with all of these activities, beside the program structure, you are really able to reach the goal to find your dream job as soon as possible, as soon as the market issue the call that fit your preferences. And so again, we have for all these activities position for University of Gothenburg, 2 positions per year. We are trying to extend this position to 4. And if you imagine that our class on average each year has around 35 students, if I go over each of these possibilities, all of you are, ending in any of these activities, ARPM, as well double degree or study abroad, Erasmus, UFE, NL, Consob. So really, each of our students is able to figure out, according to his preferences, which is the best activity beside the program structure that you really want to engage with. So these are some administrative recallings. We have online application, and then you have a Skype interview on the basic of mathematics and statistics. And then the deadline is June 9 for non-EU applicant and August 24 for Italian and EU applicant. Okay, so The program start this year on August 30, and this is our student profile. We really accept very few students, and if you see after the introduction of the application fee, we reach our goal that we want very strong motivated applicant to come to our program. And our acceptance rate is a little bit lower than 60%. And then from this 60%, the enrollment rate is 67%. So relating to the previous year in which we didn't have any application fee, everybody was applying to our program. And then we decide to put a fee, a very small fee, just to motivate you to apply to our program to any other program. I mean, we really want people that want to enter in our finance and banking program, and they are motivated to be interviewed and be ready to start after summer the 2-year activities in our university. So that's why we really look for people that have an international attitude, they are good, or they want to be good, they have the strength to work on quantitative background, and they really want to face any kind of situation during the 2 years that help them, okay, to reach their goal. So for any additional information I was not able to provide today, you can feel free to send me a mail to my direct mail, rocco.ciciretti@uniroma2.it, or you can write directly to our admission and program office, msc_finance@economia.uniroma2.it. And on our website, we are committed to provide all the information you need. And so I really strongly invite you to surf our website and then contact us for any detail we miss by chance or any additional information you want to have on any activity we provide so far to our students and to our alumni. So thank you very much for your attention. Okay.
I think we're all done, but however, I think we have some more time. So, and I don't know if there are some people in the audience who want to ask questions.
Yeah, questions are welcome. Anyone are welcome to ask.
Sorry.
Yes, please.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes, of course you can.
Okay, thank you. Are there any possibility like seminars or smaller courses to improve our English?
For all the students in Tor Vergata, we have the CLA, Centro Linguistico di Ateneo, so you can attend the courses over there.
Okay, thank you very much.
It's in the same building where we are based.
Yes.
So, it's a very good laboratory that you can have, where you can have self-teaching courses.
Any other question, guys?
Hey there, Del Vecchio here. Thank you very much for that very detailed presentation. I was actually wondering if these slides would be sent over to us individually, or if they were able to.
Rocco?
Yeah, I believe that the content of the slides is on the website. So actually,
Okay.
It's more detailed on the web. So our suggestion is to surf on the web and you figure out detail on each of our activities as well as the program structure. So
Okay, yeah, that's all good. Thank you very much.
okay.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
And also, I mean, last year, I guess that this year will be the same, but last year, this entire open day, the recording of the open day was put online, so you can go through this information again. But as Rocco said, I mean, the information that you find in the slides are basically just a subset of the information that you may derive from from our websites, which, as I said, are very detailed and very much updated.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any question?
There is also another question about English certification. Well, with this respect, I would suggest the student to ask this question to directly talk to the program office of the course he or she is interested in, because we have slightly different rules. So for instance, in economics, we don't require an English certification, but we require people to speak English. And we derive this this understanding whether you speak English either from your CV or from an interview if it is needed.
Okay. Anyone?
Good morning. Thank you for your presentation. I wanted to ask you, you said before, among the requirements, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Among the requirements that you ask, there is, apart from strong motivation, the international approach. What do you mean? How can we show that we have this requirement, an international approach? What do you mean exactly?
I mean, you don't have to show me this, but you have to be ready. As I said, that you can get a job offer from South America, and you say, okay, I take the flight to Buenos Aires or to São Paulo. That's the attitude. I don't, you know, we don't want to check this. We want you to have it, because I mean, you cannot find, all of you cannot find your dream job in Rome or in Milano or any other place in Italy or in your hometown. So our international approach is that even if you start your own enterprise in anywhere in Italy, then you want to, let's say, travel to look for new markets to sell your product. That's the attitude. We don't check this. We just want you to know that you should have it to you know, work in finance. Finance is now an international, let's say, topic, because you have to know English as well as math or statistics, and you really have to be ready to fly, let's say, 2 days a week to go to your headquarters, talk with your boss, and come back. That's the attitude I was talking about.
Okay, I got it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Of course, when we will be able to fly, but that's a different story.
Yeah, of course. Guys, any question? Ladies? Okay, so I thank you again for your time.
Sorry.
Yes, please.
I'm sorry, I have a question. And I'm a graduate student, and I'd like to have information about the enrollment in a single course in economics.
Yes, you can do this. You can do this. And it is possible to enroll in single courses. There is an administrative procedure that you should follow. And this is something that we strongly advise for those who probably get a degree that too late to enroll in 1 year, but too early to enroll in the program in the next year. So instead of wasting a few months of your life, you have the possibility of joining single courses. Alternatively, if you come from an outside organization, sometimes we provide courses to, I don't know, people from Bank of Italy or from other institutions. But as I said, there is this possibility. I mean, the cost is relatively small, and for details, I strongly suggest you to contact the program office of economics.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry, one more thing. If after this individual, I mean, these single courses, you decide to enroll in the program, of course, you will not have to sit the exam again for these courses.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Anyone else want to ask something?
Yeah, I have a question.
Yep.
The,
We can't see you very well.
What? Can you hear me?
We can't hear you very well. Can you either speak louder, get closer to the microphone, or do something, a linear combination?
Now it's better?
Yeah, a bit better, yeah.
Okay, I'm really sorry about it. Anyway, I had a question about the finance and banking course, about the public sector roles, or anyway, the possibility of doing a PhD. Because I heard about, of course, I don't know, private institutions and all of those things, but there is the possibility, of course, after the course, after the master, of doing, I don't know, some roles in the public sector, or anyway, a PhD.
Yes, of course, it's not the majority of our student choice, but some of them apply for a PhD as well as they work for international institution or for public institution. And some of the company that I told you, like Enel or CDP, Cassa Depositi e Prestiti, are public companies. So even if they are capital company, they owned by the state. So you're working for let's say the Ministry of Finance. So of course all this possibility is given to our student. I was talking just about the majority of our student choice, but some of them, let's say 10% of our students, apply to PhD program or international institution. So anything you want as your future job, so continue studying, is possible also in our program.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Anyone? Okay, so if there is no further question, I think Alberto, Elisabetta, and I, we really thank you for attending, spending this hour and a half with us. And we really look for your application in either one of the 3 courses.
Let me finish with this. Please talk to us. Take an interest in our courses. Write to us. Browse our websites. And we think that we have really something important for you or for your career. So let's keep in contact.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye to everyone.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you very much. Have a good one.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.